Friends, we are understanding a new portfolio management theory which is given a name as arbitrage pricing theory. However, before we proceed for that conceptually, we are having a discussion about a question. You are required to answer following questions. There are two questions provided to us. First question, if central government is changing its policy with respect to lending policy and interest rates, then returns of which of the following two companies will be affected more? So the question says that say when there is a change in the lending policy of the central government, then in that case returns of which of the two companies will be affected more? Is it ICICI Bank or is it ONGC? I want you to answer in the chat box. Second question, if central government is changing its policy with respect to petroleum products, then returns of which of the two policies, that is companies, will be affected more? Is it ICICI Bank or is it ONGC? I want you to write this answer also in the chat box. We can say that say definitely in case of the lending policy there is a difference, there is a change, then in that case returns of all the companies will be affected more or less. Why? Because it is a systematic risk factor. However, the returns of ICICI Bank will be affected more. And when there is a change in the policy with respect to the petroleum products, then in that case, of course, returns of all the companies will be affected. However, the rate at which it will have the impact on ONGC will be substantially more. So in the first case, the answer is ICICI Bank, and in the second case, it is ONGC. So please write down answer for the question. Answer for question number 1 in that write down, returns of ICICI Bank will be affected more, comma, with change in policy of lending funds. Full stop. Answer for the second, returns of ONGC will be affected more. With paragraph write down, change of government policy will surely have impact on the returns of all companies. Full stop. However, a company dealing in that specific sector will have surely more impact. Of course, the impact can be positive also, the impact can be negative also. It depends upon the kind of policy which is changing. So if at all the government is giving any booster in terms of like some subsidies are introduced or the tax rate is reduced, then in that case it will have the positive impact, and vice versa. If at all certain taxes are levied or education cess is levied, then in that case say it is going to have said adverse impact. This is what we understand is a kind of So the effect that say we will have of any change in any of the policy.